Spring is almost here, which means it's time to pre-register for the classes you would like to take during the 2017-18 school year. In the next several minutes, we will cover what you need to know about pre-registering, including graduation requirements, new courses, and filling out the form accurately. Pre-registration makes a big difference in determining what classes you receive next year. An accurate form helps us build the master schedule. When we know how many students want a specific class, we can work to offer enough blocks of that course. An accurate form also helps us make sure there are as few conflicts in the schedule as possible. For instance, if several students write on their pre-registration form that they would like to take both AP US History and the drama production in the fall, we will do our best to make sure that these two courses are not scheduled at the same time. If forms are not accurate, we may create conflicts simply because we didn't know they existed. Finally, an accurate form helps us create enough space in the classes you want. If you don't have a course listed on your pre-registration form, there may not be enough space for you in the class. Each year of high school, there are specific classes you should include in your schedule. This list includes the classes you should take or consider taking your sophomore, junior, and senior years. Each year you take Bible, English, and History, adding math and science, and then electives. You may be waiting to hear about honors, AP, and arts applications. These decisions will be emailed out on Wednesday. Math recommendations will also be emailed on Wednesday. Please do not turn in your pre-registration forms until you have this information. Again, an accurate form is extremely important. When you are deciding what electives to take next year, make sure you're keeping graduation requirements in mind. For clarification, each full block at King's is worth 2 credits. You will need to make sure you have 2 credits of a career concentration course. The list of what is considered a career concentration class can be found on the back of your pre-registration form. You must have 4 credits of Spanish or an outside foreign language class. Keep in mind that most colleges will want to see 3 years rather than 2, and if you're taking a language outside of King's, it must be approved by your counselor and must be 2 or more years of the same language. 2 credits of a fine or performing art are required. You must take 6 credits of math and 6 credits of science to graduate, but we strongly recommend you take 8 credits of each. Colleges around the country are looking for strong academic candidates who include additional math and science and other academic electives in their course selection. You will need 4 credits of PE. 2 of those credits were taken your freshman year if you attended King's, and you must take 2 more credits unless you participate in a sport. Sports participation waives this requirement. If you participate in a sport outside of King's, a waiver application must be completed and turned in to your counselor. If you will be a sophomore or junior next year, you'll want to consider the courses you plan to take your senior year and what prerequisites those classes require when filling out your current pre-registration form. For example, if you know you want to take AP Biology your senior year, you must make sure that anatomy is part of your junior year schedule. State colleges in Washington require that you have a math or algebra-based science, chemistry or physics, in your senior year, unless you've taken pre-calculus. If math and science are not your strongest subjects, you'll want to look ahead and make sure you can meet this requirement. It might mean that you save chemistry or physics for your senior year, or you pace yourself in math classes. If you have questions about what the right choice for you might be, stop by and talk with Mrs. Matthias or Mrs. Uri. The goal is to keep the big picture planning in mind when choosing your classes. When choosing courses, also make sure you look closely at the requirements and prerequisites. Here's just a couple of them. If you're in Abundant Life or Living Faith, you need to participate in 1 term of Flex Block Choir. You need to participate in choir during the term you are not in Abundant Life or Living Faith. When your math recommendation is sent, you must pre-register for the math course you're recommended for. We do double check. If you want to register for a different math class, you'll need to complete a waiver and attach it to your pre-registration form. Counselors have these waivers. If you register for AP Physics, you must take the AP Physics review in the spring. This is to ensure you have enough time to cover the material and complete the labs before the AP test in May. There's a list of classes on the back of the pre-registration form. All of those that have an asterisk next to them have prerequisites. Be sure to read course descriptions that will be included in the link that we're emailing if you have any questions. We have several new class offerings for next year. Story is a powerful tool. When you think back to chapel speakers, classroom experiences, or life-shaping moments, the most memorable events often include a story. In the digital storytelling class, you will begin to understand why this is true, while developing the skills necessary to visually represent your passions. Whether it's your own personal story, issues of justice, or story in gaming, this class is a unique opportunity to develop the ability to tell story powerfully. Creative writing is a fun elective for students who want to learn more about writing and publishing and read today's great writers to find out how they use their craft. You will learn about how writers approach their work, the tools they use, and the ways they create space and discipline in their lives for more creativity. Students will write poetry, short fiction, and nonfiction, including topics like memoir, spiritual, nature, travel, and food. In class, we'll practice writerly activities like studio time for working and workshopping your pieces with the group. We'll also learn about the publishing industry and how young writers like you can begin to take steps to publish your creative work. The class culminates in students editing their best pieces to produce a writing portfolio that the whole class can help create an online publication to showcase their portfolios. Most reading and writing for the courses can be done within the class time. In the fall, seniors are invited to take college admissions, essays, and scholarships during Flex. This class will help seniors write college essays, and during the class you will be given time to draft, revise, and edit college applications. When deadlines pass, the focus will shift to financial aid and scholarships. In the spring, juniors are invited to take the course during the Flex block. The focus will again be on writing college essays, filling out applications, and making sure juniors are prepared moving into their senior year. If you love improv and have completed beginning improv with Mrs. McCardle, consider intermediate improv during Spring Flex. This course will help students advance their improv school through performance. Honors Physics is an appropriate class for students desiring a more robust mathematical exploration of the subject than found in conceptual physics. Topics to be covered include Newton's law of motion and universal gravitation, linear, projectile, rotational, and circular motion, impulse and momentum, and work, energy, and power. It also includes an introduction to mechanical waves and sounds, as well as electrical circuits. Students will conduct several inquiry-based laboratory investigations representing a variety of covered topics. This class does not have an application, but you must have completed Honors Algebra 2, Algebra 3, or Pre-Calculus. Do you have an academic strength and enjoy helping others? If so, you may want to consider becoming a King's High School Instructional Assistant. This course allows you to work alongside of a teacher, helping students who may need help in a particular course or subject matter. Counselors will work with anyone interested to help assign the most appropriate classroom based on your individual strengths. When filling out the pre-registration form, start by choosing between the classes already listed, for instance between AP English Literature and English 12. Remember, decisions and recommendations will be emailed on Wednesday. Next, fill in all of the elective spots, keeping in mind what you need for graduation. The only confusing portion of the pre-registration form is classes that are during Flex and run only one half of the year. These are classes that you would take during the Flex either in the fall or in the spring. You may not have any of these, but if you choose courses listed in the box on the back of the form labeled half-year Flex block classes, you need to list a fall class and a spring class on the same line, taking one elective space. We'll look at a few examples to help clarify. Here's a sample of a sophomore with no half-year Flex block courses. They've selected from the classes listed, taking Bible, English 10, and AP World History. Then they selected the other courses they wanted: Biology, Geometry, Spanish 1, PE, Marketing, and Graphic Design. Here's a sample that does have 2 half-year courses listed. The student would like to take Film in the fall and Leadership in the spring. These courses must be listed on the same line or you're only pre-registering for FlexBlock for half of the year. Here is a sample where the junior student does not want any classes that run half of the year during Flex. One of the courses they had selected will most likely run all year during the Flex block. Here's an example of a junior who does want half-year courses during Flex. On the same line, they wrote power weight training for fall and college admissions prep for spring. So here's the big news. Seniors, speech is no longer a graduation requirement. The English department has worked diligently to incorporate speaking and listening standards into all curriculum, and a standalone speech class is no longer required. Therefore, as with grades 10 and 11, you will either put a full year class in all elective spots or select a fall and a spring block course, writing them in on the same line. Here's an example of both options. Remember, do not turn in your pre-registration form until you've received honors, AP, and arts decisions along with math courses you are recommended for. These will be sent Wednesday. Forms are due to the main office by Wednesday, March 29th at 3 p.m. and students with late registration forms will be registered last when we make schedules. Be sure yours is in on time. A OneDrive link will be emailed home today, allowing you to access this presentation, pre-registration forms if you should need them, and a course description link describing all of the classes. Once you've watched the YouTube presentation with your families, please feel free to contact your counselors if you have any additional questions. Thanks for your attention and have a great day.